Yesterday we have discussed about the rows and columns, right? Okay, I'll add the column name here. Okay, ID and the name, hmm, location. So and this is enough for now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, PNG 1, 2, 4. Ravi, HYD 1, 2, 5. Okay, HYD like this. Okay, this is my table. Okay, this is my table and this is my header. Okay, so this is my header. For this one, what we call this is my header. Okay. So this is very important to know. Okay, so that is most important. This is called a header. And this entire line, okay, this entire line is row. Already we have discussed. This entire line is this entire line is row. That also we know already. This is also we know. This is one row. Hmm? And already this is also we know. Okay, what is this? This is one column. Okay, this also yesterday we have discussed. This is one column. Right? Now you see this particular names, it identify the data. What is the data? So header is identified. We called this entire line is a header. And if you take the single, right? Okay, this is ID column, name column, and location column. And this is data. Okay, so ID data and name data and location data. If you combine all this, we call as a row, or we can say a record also. One record. So like this, how many lines are there? How many records are there? Total 3 records we have. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 records are there. Now in ID, if you take single ID, one column, 3 records, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5. Okay, if you take one single name column, then one name, but you have a 3 columns like this. Okay, so for the data, we have to call as a record or a row. Hmm? And for the column names, column name or header, we can say entire. So this entire the combination of rows and columns we called as a table in database. Generally, we called as a table in database. Okay. So this is how you need to understand. Okay. And this is when you go to the SQL language, that is very important for you to understand. Okay, what is this uh, ID, what is the name, and what is the location. To create any table, if you see here, okay, ID, what data we have here? This is numeric data, correct? Hello? The under ID, what data we have? It is a numeric data only, right? Numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5. These are all numeric data. So for ID, generally, the types of data, if you go to the instead of ID, if you see, we have a different types of data now. What types of data we have? One is the number, or we can call integer, okay, int, or we can call as an integer, or big int. Okay, you can take anything. So this is the type of data and the type of one. So you have you can call number, int, integer, or big int. Anything you can call. The behavior of this data, it is nothing but only numeric data. If you add any A or any special character, then the data behavior it will change. Okay. So now if you go to the second one, the type of data, under type of data second. So for this you can say character or string or varchar. You can call out like this. So what contains this particular means? If you see here, you have a Hanif, Raju, Kumar, Bangalore, HYD. Okay. So these are all called characters. I mean string. Okay. So whatever we have words, whatever, right? Which start alphabets. Okay. So those are all called character, string, or varchar. You can say. And the third one is, okay, we have a decimal values. What decimal value? For example, here we have a salary. Okay. This salary contains how you will have a salary? 10,000. Okay. 10,000, 10 paisa. Okay. And sometimes 200, 30 paisa. Something like this. So after numeric and then dot, if you have any value, that we called as a decimal. Decimal, okay, double or floor. These these are all contains like this. Okay. So which starts after decimals. So if any value starting with a number and having a dot and then number, it is nothing but decimal or double or float. Okay. So this is actually we have a three types of data we have. So one is numerical data, and another one is alphabet, and another one is this decimal values. And we have a blob and glob also. Okay, blob is nothing but images. Okay, 1 second, just moment. Okay, so we have a decimals like this. So now, 1 second, 1 second. Okay, yeah. So this is very important. So for this number, integer, okay, big int, character, string, varchar, and decimal double, these are all we called as a data type. See, now this is the data. Hmm? What data it is? It says data type. It means it identify what data type is, whether it is a number, whether it is a character, whether it is a decimal. Okay, so like this, it will define. Okay, for this ID, you will have a okay three things. If you want to identify one, if you want to create a one column, to create that column, first of all, you need to define whether what is the data type and what is the length of my column. What is the length of my column? These things you need to identify. And the column. Yeah. So these three are very important. One is first one, once you define a column name, and then you need to define a data type and that type of the data length. Okay, so these are all very important actually. When you define a ID or name, right? So you need to first what name I have to define for that values, and then okay, what type of whether for example, sometimes if you see we have a PAN card now, Aadhaar card. Let's take a Aadhaar card. in Aadhaar card, if you see, you will have only numeric numbers. You don't find any characters. But if you take PAN card, okay, if you take PAN card, you will have a numbers like 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, 3, something like this. So in this case, this is also your ID. Aadhaar card is your unique ID. PAN card also it's a unique ID. You don't find the duplicate, you don't find the duplicate ID. Okay. So now in this case, what will happen? So how do I define the data type here? Right? Aadhaar card ID is the unique ID which contains only numeric value. But PAN card is started with a number and characters. So in this case, you need to define initially when you are when you are deciding the what column I have to give and inside what data I will get it in future. So now in Aadhaar card, yes, this is always I will get a numeric number. Then yes, you can give the number value or integer value or you can define a big int. Anything is fine. Big int value. But here PAN card also it's a unique number. But I have a ABC characters also in between. How do I give? Because here I have a characters and as well as numbers. So for that you need to give only the string or varchar. This string varchar it supports numeric and alphabets. Both it will support. Okay. So like this you can define these values. And even the decimal values also, salary column, whatever you have, right? Salary. So here you will have a decimal value. But if you want to convert that into string, yes, you can read it into string or varchar also. But for character, for alphabets, you cannot convert into number or decimal. Okay, that is very important here to know before we start this SQL. So like this, okay, you need to define what is my number, what is the my column data type, and how much length it is. Okay, so those are all. Who will give you these details means you will get the document, okay, from the business team. So they will show you entire details. Otherwise, they will tell you go to the table. Then you need to go and table and find the length and everything. That also in coming classes we can learn. Okay. As of now, did you guys understood, right? What is the column and what is the header and what is the row and what is the record and then what is the data type and how the data is divided into three categories. Okay. So this is very, very important. Okay. Before we start the actual classes. So if you understand this, right, then it is easy for you to create any table. Okay, there is a simple syntax we need to practice. Okay, that is very important. Now, you know, right? So if you want to create any number, so always you see student ID generally, it is you depending on you. Student ID, if you want to give only numbers, then create a number 1, 2, okay, like this. But a data type you have to give a integer. If you want to give a string, no problem. But always try to give a integer only because you need to see at performance level also. Compared to compared to string, integer give you the most performance while reading the data. Okay. So student ID, if you want to give a data type as a string, so no issues. It will accept the to allow the numbers. But you need to think whether do we require to give a string. So that is very important. That decision making is very important. Always, okay, blindly keep that in mind. In case entire data in future also, if you are getting only numbers, then follow the integer data type. In case if you are getting combination of alphabets and numbers, then go to the string value. Like this, you need to keep that in mind so that it is very important for you. So any requirement if you are getting, you need to, it is your responsibility. You have to ask, am I going to get only numbers in this column? Someone should answer that. If yes, then create a table with the integer data type. In case if they say no, in future we may get alphabets also, then create a string itself. It does not matter how you are creating, but you need to see at performance level also. But if you are keeping for number also the data type string, no problem. There is no issues as well. Okay. So string is universal. It means it will allow you numerical data and a decimal data. But number, it will not allow this string data or decimal data. Same decimal, it will not allow the number data or character data. Mm. But string value, the character, string, varchar, this is universal. It means it can read any data. I mean, special characters, now numerical values, decimal values, everything it will read. So that is called a universal in the data environment. Okay, this is very, very important. Why I am going depth? Because here, so this is very important to know the data type and data behavior. Okay, types of data. Are you guys clear? If you guys
Yes,
are
sir.
clear, then only I'll go to the next session. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I need to explain with another example. Yes, date and time. I'll take the another. Okay. So this is very important. Yeah. We have another column called date. Okay. Timestamp. These two we have. So these two is nothing but okay. So the date of one is if you take only date, it will have a 20, 24, 0, 11 and 0, 3. This is the date. This is the date column. And if you want to timestamp, then how it will have 20, 24, 11, 0, 3 and 12 hours. Okay. Otherwise, take the 23 hours means 11 and minutes and the seconds and then milliseconds if you want. Yes, you can take the milliseconds also. Something like this. Okay, so it will start like this. So this is particular, this value is timestamp. Okay, so this is the date and timestamp. Okay, so even for to read the data in string, yes, it can allow. But the date and timestamp, it will not read a numeric value. Okay, so this is very important to know the data types. One is the number, alphabet, decimal, and timestamp. Those are all very, very important. Now, coming back to the SQL. Okay. Before starting SQL, this clarification is very much needed to understand the data because the SQL supports only to process the data, okay, and then retrieve the data. One is process the data and retrieve the data. Now, what is SQL? Hmm? And why we require SQL in our real-time environment. Okay, that is important. Okay, so as I mentioned yesterday, hmm, one more thing, if the call disconnected automatically, then please rejoin again. Hmm, that is important because we will have only 40 minutes here duration of this one session. So again, you just join later. Hmm? Yeah. Okay. So now the SQL why required actually. Okay. So for example, I'll give you the one example to understand. Uh, Let me take a paint. Hmm? Before I start SQL, I'll give you one example. Consider this is my house, warehouse. Okay, this is my warehouse. Or you take something like this is a demo. Okay, this is our demo. Leave it. This is our demo. Under that, I have some boxes. Consider like this. Okay, I have some boxes. Under that boxes, okay, I am keeping here in this mangoes and bananas, for example, and apples. I'm just keeping like this. So keeping like this means what? I have a I have a warehouse. Under warehouse, I have a different boxes. Under these boxes, I am keeping the I am keeping the mangoes, bananas, and apples. Right? Keeping the means what? Keeping. Now, somewhere I am extracting and this is not supporting. I need a curve actually. Where do I have any curves? I don't have. I'll take it. Okay, this is somewhere I have farming. Okay, this is my farming. And here we are cultivating mangoes, bananas, something. So what I'm doing, I am keeping the data mangoes here. Similarly, I have a bananas cultivation and I am keeping bananas. I have a apple cultivation and I am keeping the data here, right? So see, I am keeping somewhere I am extracting and keeping into somewhere, putting the products into somewhere, right? Again, what I will do, this is my business, right? I will sell them. Customer will come here, some other customer guys. What they will do? They will take the bananas or mangoes if they want and they will eat it for their kids, their family. Similarly, if they want banana, they will take and apples if they want, they will take. Correct? So it means somewhere they are extracting these mangoes, apples, and bananas, keeping in the warehouse with the separate boxes and then selling to the end customer. It means what is happening here? Extract the data and load it into table and again select the data and somewhere they are keeping. It means two operations are happening. One is extract and load and here also extract and load. Right? Something operation is going on. Okay. So this operation means initially it is empty. If you see Okay. Initially, initially if you have a this warehouse, at that time it is empty, and you created a boxes with empty. You created a boxes, it's empty. This is also empty. It means what? When you are setting a SQL database, at that time you will not have any data in your database. You have purchased a new laptop. At that time, you don't have any data inside your laptop. Memory will be free except your operating system regarding files will be there, but you don't have any data. Later, you will insert the data inside the storage, right? So at that time, when I set up this database, at that time, I will not have anything. It is empty. Okay, my database also same empty. Okay, so how this data, how we need to install? Okay, that installation process we will see in other classes. Okay, what what we are going to install, what we are going to practice, that we will see later. Hmm? Okay, but here the main intention of this one is for any environment. Initially, when you are creating, at that time, this will be empty box only. Under empty box, you will be defining, okay, yes, I have to keep only mangoes. Yes, I have to keep only bananas. Okay, yes, I have to keep only some other products. Otherwise, you take fruits here and keep oneself mangoes, oneself banana, oneself apple, and you keep it here some dry fruits. Okay, so badam, pista, and some other values, and you take a vegetable here, and here uh, leaves, and different vegetables. Okay, you keep it like this. So now for everyone, for example, if you go to the Dmart, so then it is easy for you to choose which fruit you want. Then you go to that area, and you will find what fruit you want. Similarly, if you want to purchase any product, then the entire product, they will keep different companies product, they will keep into one shelf. There you need to find which one you want, right? So like this, any database initially, it will be a blank. It will be a empty. Later on, you are going to create a table. You are going to store the data. Okay. So that is called actually, now we are going to discuss about this particular SQL language. Before we start the SQL language, so installation is very much important. Installation is very much important. So to start that installation, okay, there are two options for you guys. One is install the Oracle, or directly practice in, okay, Snowflake. So here, what you have, okay, this is on-premise server. On-premise means what? So here you don't require any net internet, directly it will be installed in your system. Okay, you can practice whenever you want. But here, okay, so you will have a limitations. Okay, you need to register with your email ID, and then you need to practice, and it will give you the $10,000 or something and 1 month. If you complete those, then you need to create again new ID. So like this, you need to practice. So if you ask me, you need to practice better here itself. Okay. Why? Because going forward, we will be going to discuss only the Snowflake database and all, right? So better you just practice here. Hmm? No, no, I want to sit and practice here means yes. You just initially you just practice here. Okay. So there are many databases we have. Okay. Which is easier, you take that one and practice. Okay. So now here I have already installed. Okay, I have already installed Oracle database. Okay, so I'll show you this thing. So if you see here, after installing, okay, you see this is Oracle. If you open this Oracle, first of all, you can find like this. Okay, product middleware. Middleware, you don't find product. If you see product means that is installed folder. Under product, you can find like this. Okay. Under that admin DB1 flash recovery area for our data. You will find this Oracle when you install Oracle. So this DB1 is the important. So if you go to the inside DB1, okay, you will find a network. Under network folder, we will have an admin folder. Under admin folder, these are the main files. So TNS name, okay, listener. Under TNS name, if you open this TNS name generally, okay. So here you will find the Oracle. This is the connection string, and this is your host, okay, and this is your port number. This is very important to know. Okay. In next session or other, if someone wants to install, right, at the time I will show you how to install. Okay, Oracle. So this is important. So this is the host, and this is the port number, and this is the service name.